All right, it's Real 92.3, the Crew Show, man, out here right in front of this beautiful Kobe Mural, man, commemorating his 5th anniversary of his 60-point game, his final game. Jonas Never is here. What's up, brother?
Nice to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, man. We've had you on the Crew Show before, dude. We're big fans of your work, man. What did it mean to connect with the photographer in this situation and this particular moment? I mean, this was Kobe's swan song, man.
I mean, this is one of those memorable games, like this and like the 81-point game against Toronto. Like when Andy reached out to me, usually, I mean, obviously I paint photographers' images a lot, but it's rare that I get to actually work with them on a project, like in conjunction with them. And this is such a unique image. Like it's Kobe, like he's got a weird smirk, like he's like, like he knows something that we don't know, and it was crazy. It's like that's the last time we ever saw him on the court, and to actually be able to capture that image, like he was such a part of LA, and 20 years, he put in work for the city, and like a whole generation of fans grew up knowing nothing but him, and to be able to kind of like sign off on this, like it was a really unique experience. I'm thrilled Andy picked me to do this.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that phrase that he said right before he walked off. It was "Mamba out," and that was just. I was at the game, man, and it was probably one of the most memorable games I've ever been at, besides Game 7 when they beat the Celtics. That was beautiful. Right?
That was fun. I got to capture that one at Grand Central Market too. So I've been it's kind of picking and choosing the moments. There's so many Kobe's around the city and around the world. It's been a unique experience trying to pick ones that haven't been done or have been done from a different perspective. And I want them to stand out with the background, with all that. And when you're painting the photographer's image and his office is like 200 yards away, you can't like skimp on details. So it was really cool, kind of doing a side by side of the original with this and making sure I got it stuff right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you're right. The Kobe Murals, they canvassed the city, man. And big shout out to Kobe Murals on IG. They connected you guys as well, right? And they actually connected us today.
Yeah, Mike's amazing. Putting together Kobe Mural, people can visit from all over the city or all over the world and like go to his Instagram or his website and see where they all are. And he actually has gotten involved with a lot of photographers and all the artists, and he came out to one me and Joyce did a million years ago in downtown across from the convention center, and that was the first time I actually met him, and I was like, dude, this guy actually has like good intentions. You never really know with stuff like that, and he was such like an honest fan, Kobe fan, LA fan, that it was really cool to like work with him, and he's the one who introduced me and Andy. I painted Andy's images at Staples Center and other stuff, but actually knowing him as a person, it was cool that Mike set that up.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's, like you said, genuine, man. We've had him on the show as well. And it's like, there's a dude that just loves Kobe, loves the Lakers, and wants to give back because he knows the impact that this guy had on the city and on society in general.
Totally, and Kobe really brought us all together. Gave it, people still fade away and, yell Kobe, like, and Mike captures that spirit of like just being a genuine LA fan, and I really dig him for that. Most people have like kind of other intentions with things, I feel, and his are totally genuine. And same with Andy the photographer, and I feel like same with Kobe as a basketball player. Yeah, I mean that, and also people love what they know, and people like you go back to the sandwich spot you grew up eating at, like you look forward to things that you've like grown up with and that you like are big part of your life. And for every LA fan, that was Kobe for 20 years. They're like, there's nothing like that around here.
Yeah, exactly, man. Jonas Never's here, man. We're in front of the brand new mural here in South Pasadena. It's on 1020 Mission Street. Make sure you come down here, man. It's a beautiful part of Pasadena anyways, and this is tucked in like a little alley, and it's so dope, man. Let's talk real quick about your association with the Dodgers and Joe Kelly, and I know you said you went to school with them, and that pouting picture that you did and got up so quick, and then you turned around and just threw one up right now with the World Series ring and the pouting. How cool is it to be able to do stuff with people that you love and that you love doing and be able to turn it around so quick?
I mean, murals really connect you to the city, to the people around, but when you're actually painting players that reach out and their families and you get to know them as humans, it gives you that much more reason to cheer for them. And like, me, Joe, his wife Ashley, we all played ball at UC Riverside. Justin Turner was at Florida in the same league, and when I was painting Justin a few years ago over at Baby Blues in Echo Park, like Justin, came out, made a big deal, signed the wall with a spray can, like it was, and just getting to know these guys and like, talking to Joe and his wife last night, like after I painted it, like I didn't expect the first one to go as big as it did. Like I expect Kobe, I expect LeBron, I expect stuff like that to be like, in big things because they're that big, but Joe was new to the team. People didn't necessarily love him yet from drilling Hanley a few years ago, and the pouty face thing against the Stros last year, man, that like brought the city together. It might have been partially because Dodger fans couldn't connect without bars, without the stadium. During like the height of COVID, it gave people somewhere to connect, and seeing the lines around the block for that were insane. And then, yesterday I had one day off after doing this and stole all the paint in my truck, and dude, Joe captured. I didn't have a chance to do a World Series like championship mural, and I've been keeping it like, what can I do? And Joe did that, did it again during the ceremony. I was like, dude, that's it. And yeah, I figured I'd one day, so I might as well make it worth it. And it was so much fun doing that, and it's I'll be a Dodger fan for life. I already was, but now it's like cemented with guys like that, and dudes are
because you have a personal connection now, dude. And talking about baseball, man, one thing I love that you've done, and my kids collect cards, and that's what I love because I was like that way when I was younger, and to see the current generation, even though there's NFTs and all those other things happening right now, that physical card still means so much to people, and you can hold it like a treasured possession. You working with Topps and doing that whole Project 70, how was that like as a fan and as a former player?
Dude, I'm still geeking out. Like Mr. Cartoons people set me up with Topps. Like they put my name out there, and they dug what I was doing. So I never thought I'd have a baseball card. Like I played baseball in college, but I never. Once that ended, I thought that dream had died. And to actually be able to come out with cards of players that I looked up to and players I know, dude, it's so cool. And like I can't wait for the Joe Kelly card to come out in a while. Like this week, actually on Jackie Robinson Day, 4/15, my Jackie Robinson card's coming out. And it's like so cool to be able to like have like connections like with baseball times. Like the Dodgers were the hats with the 42 that day, and everyone wears a 42 jersey, and you can't tell who's pitching because they're all the same number. And I get to actually have a card come out. It's like, dude, like I never would have thought I'd have experiences like that, and it's really, really like humbling, and it's just a crazy thing to be a part of.
Yeah, man, I always, I tell my kids that all the time, man, find something you love and do it for the rest of your life because it won't ever seem like work, and I know that's a phrase that people say all the time, but I feel the same way you do, man. If I get to interview someone like you or, I said work with Kobe or interview an artist that I love, it's like, dude, am I here? Like you're always pinching yourself and trying to figure it out, but it's so cool to meet you and see this passion in person.
Dude, and there's something about you said, like, now, like find a job you love and it doesn't feel like work. Like dress for the job you love. Like we're wearing like LA stuff and like like we actually are able to dress like we want to. Like most people have to wear like a suit or wear whatever something worse like 5 days a week, and we get to go out and do what we love and just be proud Angelinos. And like I get to meet people who write personal connections to Kobe, and I get to talk to Joe Kelly, and it's like, dude, it's like really, really crazy. And I mean I couldn't be happier that things worked out this way.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you, bro. It's cool to meet you. You can feel great energy. Hey, some of my favorites. I love the Back to the Future one you did. I love that today was a good day because I mean those bars are embedded in our head as fans of not only Ice Cube but of this city. What are some of your favorites? If you give me like a top 3.
I mean, obviously anything with Kobe, like the first Kobe one across from the convention center with me and Droyster, where Kobe's doing that with the LA culture, that was like one of the coolest things, and that was one of the first times I really saw everything coming together. The Big Touch of Venice one over on Windward, just because it's in my neighborhood and my studio's half a block from there, and to walk out every morning and see that massive piece is just so unique. And dude, I got to give Joe Kelly like top 3, that was one of the craziest things I've ever been a part of. And like LeBron, that whole King of LA thing was crazy a few years back, but I hope the list keeps growing. Like I got to do Bob Ross down in Orlando on the block he lived on, like, and as an artist and being able to use the curve as a pal. Like there's like I want to keep finding connections. Like you mentioned today was a good day. Like that's such an LA thing. Like Kobe's such an LA icon. As I love it, LA more than anywhere else in the world, but it'd be nice to be able to do find what other cities have and kind of do obviously not San Diego and Houston, but most cities, and like find the teams, find the players, find the movies that really mattered there, and kind of make that connection to people all over the country at some point.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And you've done stuff for clients. I mean, you've had whether it be television shows or movies or different things. What's been the most surprising call? Like you go, wow, they know about me and they want me to do what?
Dude, I'm still honestly surprised anyone knows about me. Like when Ryan Seacrest mentioned my mural on his show the other day, I was like, dude, like Ryan Seacrest doesn't work? I mean, I forget how in LA everyone drives, so you see murals. But like, when Tommy Howell, Pony Boy, came out to the Stay Gold mural, or like when Machio and the Cobra Kai guys came out, like I'm like, dude, this is like surreal. Like I get to I have Billy Zabka tattooed on my arm, and to be able to stand next to like the bad guy or good guy from Karate Kid, depending on your picture, like, dude, that was just like so cool. Like I hope more stuff like that keeps happening to me and to other artists because it makes everyone, you get that like childish excitement again, and like. You don't. So many days are boring. They blur into each other, especially during the COVID times. To like, you remember those days so vividly, and they're so exciting. Dude, even this, like being able to come out in the morning and talk, LA and basketball in front of Kobe. It's like, dude, everything's kind of cool. Like just,
Yeah, I mean, you're doing what you love, and it's kind of like, you'll have those stories forever, man. I think nothing makes me happier than telling my kids, oh, this one time this happened, or they'll go, hey, Dad, did you ever get to meet Eminem? And I go, yeah, this one time, and it was this or whatever, and they're like, whoa, and it's like, you don't tell the stories to brag, but you tell them because it's like, yeah, that was a moment in time, and I was there, man, and it was pretty freaking dope, dude.
The fact that you were able to name drop some of my murals real quick, that's like so flattering to be like, dude, people know I'm working, like, I got to paint Eminem in Detroit, like stuff like that's like, it was years ago, like I wasn't as big, that sounds weird, but I wasn't as big an artist yet, but like it's really just like a trip. We were at a bar in Pasadena at the 35 the other day watching the Dodger game, and someone's like, oh yeah, that's the guy who did the Joe Kelly wall, and I'm like, dude, like what the hell, that's so cool. Like I mean, I'm always curious about what you get known for. Like I'm sure you've done a million things, and like for years I thought I'd be known for the Venice wall, then I thought I'd be known for the LeBron thing, and it's nice that it keeps shifting. That's not like a one-hit wonder, and I hope that stays that way.
Yeah, you evolve, man, and then who knows? I mean, you may get a commission to do something for a movie, and it's all of a sudden it's like it opens you up to a crazy international audience, and then, like you said, you may go to France and paint something or whatever. Hey, real quick, let's talk about what you do, your process, right? Because that's always an interesting thing, you know. Like, it doesn't matter if you do TV, radio, or murals. Like, there's a process. How do you prepare? And I'm more curious, what are you listening to when you paint this? And do you listen to anything?
Yeah, I usually listen to music on spots like this where it's such a walking district. I'll usually have like one headphone in because I'm part of their community, and especially because I'm not from here. It's nice to be able to talk to people and hear what they're saying and actually interact and not be like closed off in my own little world. So I'll go like one AirPod in, just kind of listen to like whatever I'm feeling for that vibe, and then. The process, like for this one, it was a little more cut and dry because I knew with Andy, you know, being the original photographer, we were doing his image about as true to form as possible. But he also had a lot of text, you know, to thank all the people that were kind enough to make it happen and all the incredible list of accomplishments Kobe had. So this one was a little more like, you know, figuring out how both our visions could come to fruition. With some of them, like the Joe Kelly stuff, it's sort of just like, I love this image, I got this wall. I'll measure the wall kind of loose as I can and then Photoshop it to fit, so make sure its face isn't on like a drain pipe and it's facing the street, you know, like the little dynamics of that. And then I'll draw squares on the wall with like a level, like the one you'd use to hang photos or something, like a 4-foot level. I'll draw squares, have Photoshop the image the same dimensions, and that way I keep the proportions straight so I know where his head lies. Like his head starts like 3 squares in, 5 squares down.
That's crazy. That's a really interesting process, man. Is there a go-to, like you said, mood? And I'm the same way. When it comes to music, bro, it's got to be a mood. Is there like a go-to playlist or something when you go, all right, man, I got to turn it up a notch. I got to get freaking going.
Dude, it's all, I mean, it could be everything from like Motley Crue, like something like some like 80s rock, just like kind of be, but that would be weird to be listening to that and painting Good Day. Like, sometimes it's like what you're painting. If I'm doing something like a classic, I'll be doing something like Gaslight Anthem. If it's something like, you know, when I was doing the Good Day one, obviously it was Ice Cube, like nonstop. And then, you know, this week there's a little more DMX than usual because, you know, that was all going on. Like, but it's nice to mix it up. Like, whatever city I'm in, like Venice, you know, I'll lean to more like beachy stuff. Like, you try and, you know, get it going and whatever I'm listening to at the time. It's kind of fun to do. Like, I don't know, I was listening to like TQ Westside at one of the wearing malls the other days because I was like, oh, I want something kind of nostalgic and fit the vibe.
Absolutely, that's what it is. It's the vibe. Hey, speaking of DMX, unfortunately we lost him, you know, a couple days ago. Any plans on doing something with him?
I would love to at some point. I'm kind of, I've been not turned off. I've been a little bit scared away by so many like quick memorial murals, like, you know, whether it be Nipsey, Kobe and Nipsey were huge, but like. And now, I used to be like, I don't know, they've kind of become like a new Angel Wings, like everyone racing to get memorial murals up, not necessarily in the right place, just to do it for the sake of getting on the news or getting attention. And I'm sure some people are going to do it as fans, and that's awesome. Like, if they're doing it for the right reasons, dude, paint away, go for it. But, I don't know, like the cheap fame side of memorials, I would love to do one in a place that made sense, you know, where I could find the right photo and take my time and do it right. And, you know, I'm booked like this week, so obviously I can't like bump a job, do something just as a fan. But it'd be cool at some point to honor him somewhere where it really made sense and, you know, do him right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's about, man. You got to do it on your terms, and you got to respect his family and you know what he brought to all of us. All right, man. Hey, Jonas, dude, I thank you so much, man. This was actually really, really cool, bro. And I'm a fan, and I'm so glad that we got to talk, man. Hopefully, you can be on the cruise show again, and we just appreciate you, bro.
Likewise, you'll have to paint you guys somewhere one of these days.
Oh, God, man. Well, that'll be the first one that gets graffitied over real quick if you paint us.
Besides LeBron.